we've removed survivors from having any kind of voice in the legal process.
Right, right. And in order for that argument to happen, both are involved, right? But then the man is usually the one that goes to jail, right?
It's so interesting. So we're starting to see more work on bidirectional violence, which if you listen to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, right? Like bidirectional violence, both parties are acting violently, right? As women, I think we have been somewhat secure in our space of like, well, because of the police bias of how does wait, he's way bigger than you. How would you abuse him, right? Like there's a whole lot of sort of subtext in the domestic violence that our black and white criminal justice and law enforcement world we're not meant to deal with. So we did see actually there's really since the 90s been an increase in dual arrests. Particularly in states that have a mandatory arrest policy. If I show up, and I have done ride-alongs with the police, and they do a phenomenal job because sometimes you get up to this scene and it's chaos, right? Everybody sort of, Hollywood has done us no favors in the depiction of how these things work. You roll up on a scene, everyone's out, right? The neighbors are out, dogs are running around, like it's a spaghetti bowl of craziness. And these poor officers are trying to sort of piece together what happened. And so I believe in our jurisdiction, if they see marks on both parties, they will take both parties to jail. But so 30% of our arrests last year were female arrests. So yeah, it's sort of shifting. Now, I will say, I think that's disproportionately unfair to Black women who generally fight back differently than white and brown women in the space of domestic violence. And not just fight back differently, but also an additional sort of societal bias that Black women can be violent, right? So all of this is playing into two probably young officers, patrol officers responding to a domestic violence scene and trying to understand what happened and then make the right call. And do they every time? No, but they really, everything I have seen by police is they really try to. They really try to understand what happened, make sure that their notes are good because they know that's going on with the case. Law enforcement, I think, is just in a really tough spot because public policy has said mandatory arrest. And then we've put the DAs in a difficult spot because we say no drop prosecution. And all of that becomes difficult. And then in a jurisdiction like Las Vegas, we do not have a hearsay exception. So everything that goes to that court has to be first person. It cannot be a detective heard or